Dr. Sarkar. Very soon we will be starting this plenary session. So in just 1 or 2 minutes, we will be starting.
अनम्यूटेड है अपने को मैसेज भी करते हैं आपकी आवाज
नहीं, हम म्यूटेड नहीं हैं।
ये सेशन कंप्लीट रेडी
सर को लैपटॉप इन द सेशन
बस क्लिक कर देंगे साइड प्रोजेक्ट भी करो उनका बेटा हमें देंगे ये उन्हें दे दिए सर गूगल मीट में करा दो गूगल मीट का है ना भी वो ज्वाइन करा दो वो आपने लैपटॉप से चलाना चाहिए तो गूगल मीट के लिए लैपटॉप से ज्वाइन करा दो तो जैसे सबका ऑनलाइन चल रहा है वैसे भी ऑनलाइन ठीक है कुछ स्टूडेंट ठीक है आई वुड लाइक तो लिंक तो रोज नहीं बनाना नहीं जानता सेंडस वाली चला भी जाऊँ BTX FEFO QJY
A very good afternoon to everyone present here. My name is Priyanji Varshney. I'm a fourth semester BSc Honors student. I hope we all are having a productive day. I'm delighted to welcome you all to the second plenary session of Second International Conference on Emerging Computational Intelligence ICECI 2026, where we continue our journey of learning through insightful discussions and expert perspectives. Without further delay, Let us begin the session by inviting our respective dignitaries to the stage. First and foremost, it is my honor to invite our presiding chair for this session, Professor Qazi Mazhar Ali, a renowned scholar, former chairperson, Department of Statistics and Operation Research, Aligarh Muslim University, to kindly grace the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Professor Qazi Mazhar Ali. We are now privileged to have with us our first keynote speaker, Dr. Iqbal S. Sarkar from Edith Cowan University, Perth, Australia, who will be joining us virtually. Dr. Sarkar, a very warm welcome to you. If you can hear us clearly, we may request you to acknowledge your presence with a brief face.
Thank you for your introduction. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Okay, so can I start now?
So we have to first invite dignitaries and then I'll call you to for a presentation. Then within 2-3 minutes. So we'll call you within 2-3 minutes for a presentation. Thank you, sir. We are delighted to have you with us. Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome sir with a big round of applause. Next, it is my honor to invite our second keynote speaker, Professor Muhammad Abule from South Asian University, New Delhi, India, to kindly join us on the stage. Please put your hands together for Professor Muhammad Abule. Now, it is my privilege that we have our third keynote speaker, Professor M.N. Huda, Director, Bharati Vidyapeeth Institute of Computer Applications and Management, New Delhi, India. He will be in his way and will join us shortly. Now, may I request Dr. Faisal Anwar, Professor, Assistant Professor at Department of Computer Science, Aligarh Muslim University, to kindly join us on the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Muhammad Lukman, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science, Aligarh Muslim University, to kindly join us on the stage. Please welcome sir with a big round of applause. Thank you to all our respected dignitaries for joining us on the stage and being a part of this important session. As a gesture of our respect and appreciation, may I request Mr. Shamik Iqbal to kindly present the bouquet to our presiding professor, Professor Qazi Mazhar Ali. May I now request Ms. Deepika Kaushik to present bouquet to our keynote speaker, Professor Muhammad Abule. And finally, may I request Mr. Sabir Ali to kindly present bouquet to our keynote speaker, Professor M.N. Huda. Now we move on to the presentation of mementos as a token of our respect and appreciation. May I request Dr. Faisal Anwar to kindly present memento to our presiding chair, Professor Qazi Mazhar Ali. Next, may I request Professor Qazi Mazhar Ali to present memento to our first keynote speaker, Professor Muhammad Abule. Now, I would like to invite Professor Dr. Faisal Anwar to kindly present bouquet and memento to Professor Azim Chandel, representative of IEEE. Ladies and gentlemen, please acknowledge this act with a huge round of applause. Thank you once again. To formally commence the session and take the proceedings further, I now invite Dr. Faisal Anwar to kindly take over the session.
Thank you, Priyanshi. Respected dignitaries sitting on the dais, speaker joining us online, esteemed faculty members, dear students and participants, offline and online. Assalamu alaikum and very good afternoon to everyone. It is my pleasure to moderate this plenary session 2 of ICECI 2026. Plenary sessions are among the highlights of any conference as they bring together distinguished experts who share insights on emerging trends, research directions, and real-world challenges in the field. Today, we are privileged to have three eminent speakers who will share their valuable perspective with us. One is from Edith Cowan University, first, Dr. Iqbal Sarkar, and we are having with us Professor Muhammad Abulash from South Asian University. And the third speaker is Professor Emin Ohuda, who is director of BVI Camp, and very shortly he would be joining us. Today, we are also privileged to have Professor Qazi Nazar, sir, who will be presiding this year. Professor Qazi Nazar Ali, sir, former Dean, Faculty of Science, and former chairperson, Department of Statistics and Operation Research, Aligarh Muslim University, and who are with us physically. So it is now my privilege to introduce our first plenary speaker, Dr. Iqbal Sarkar from Edith Cowan University, Perth, Australia, who has joined us virtually. Dr. Sarkar received his PhD in Computer Science from Swinburne University of Technology, Melbourne. He is currently a research fellow at Edith Cowan University, Australia. In addition, he serves as an adjunct fellow at the DE-SAC Lab, University of Technology, Sydney, and at the Institute of Computer Science and Digital Innovation, UCSI University, Malaysia. His research interests span artificial intelligence and data-driven domains, particularly in cybersecurity, business analytics, and applications for small and medium-sized enterprises. He has authored over 100 research publications in leading peer-reviewed journals and international conferences. He is also the lead author of two Springer books. One is Context-Aware Machine Learning and Mobile Data Analytics, and the other one is AI-Driven Cybersecurity and Threat Intelligence. Today, Dr. Sarkar will deliver a talk on cybersecurity, AI automation, intelligence, and human trust. May I request Dr. Iqbal Sarkar to kindly deliver the plenary lecture. Over to you, Dr. Sarkar.
Thank you for your nice introduction. Just before starting, could you please confirm, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
And slide, is it visible or?
Yes,
should
yes,
I-
slide also visible. You can make it in presentation mode.
Presentation mode, okay, just. Is it visible and movable?
Yeah, it's fine. Fine.
Okay, no worries. Okay, thank you. Good afternoon. I think we are already late, so we will try to finish it soon. No worries. And before starting my presentation, I sincerely appreciate all the organizers and other committee members who are actually involved for this session as well as this conference. So today's my talk is mainly AI automation, insights, and human trust. And I am Iqbal Sarkar, and working as a research fellow at Edith Cowan University. I am mainly working as AI and data-driven technologies, particularly for cyber and business analytics. So before starting my presentation, I want to share one thing, why I actually chose this topic. Okay. So the main reason is nowadays many young researchers as well as students, they are working on AI modeling or technologies, that's fine. But they are focusing less on insights and human trust, which is actually important for real world AI deployment. So that's why I want to focus mainly three keywords. One is automation part and insights part and human trust, so that we can effectively design AI solution for any application domain and deploy effectively. Okay, so first statement, like according to William Deming, in God we trust and all others must bring data. So from this statement, we can easily understand the importance of data. Okay, so data actually tells the real fact and story, of course, because if we consider one example, if you ask me, okay, please say something about me, I cannot say anything about you because I have no data. Okay, so similarly, it's also applicable for any application or any events. And data actually helps for evidence-based decision making. Of course, human intuition and experience matter, it's okay. But data actually validates and scales the trust. Okay. So now, what's actually the relation between data and AI? So as we know, data is actually the fuel of AI. For any AI technologies, it could be machine learning, deep learning, generative AI, LLM, or any types of AI technologies, we must need to consider data. Okay, and this is actually the foundation of our automation, insights, and trust. That's actually our main concerns for today's talk. Here, simple motivation, why we actually need AI or data-driven solution. If we consider today's digital business or any kind of systems, okay, so they can generate huge amount of data. Thus, it's actually difficult for human to analyze manually. So that's why we must need to think about some data-driven or AI-based technologies. In terms of cybersecurity, increasing attack speed and sophistication. Okay, and 24/7 threat actors across the different systems like IT, information technology systems, or operational technology, cloud, or IoT systems. Okay, and if we consider only a human analyst can solve this problem, it's not actually possible. Simple reason is human analysts suffer from alert fatigue and decision can be inconsistent even under pressure. Thus, we need to consider effective AI or machine learning-based solution, considering speed, consistency, and operational efficiency. Okay. And if you see the this figure, it's actually a survey report published by World Economic Forum in 2025. They actually surveyed over 1,000 leading global employers. And if we see these 9 different technologies, AI and information technology, that means data-driven technologies, the impact is actually the biggest. Okay, and 86% of those employers, they actually responds the impact of AI and data-driven technologies to transform their business by 2030. So from this survey report and the current problem that we actually we are facing, we can easily conclude that we must need to consider AI and data-driven solutions. Okay. So now, how we can actually build effective AI model? Okay, as we already mentioned, data is actually fuel of AI or relevant technologies like machine learning or deep learning. We must need to turn data into superpower. Okay, so these are actually 3 different aspects. One aspects could be we can build AI model like different machine learning model. Even we can consider single agent or multi-agent depending on our situation and what type of problems we have. But the problem is who will actually take the responsibility if AI system fails? Okay, that's actually the main problem for effective deployment. So that's why I want to consider 2 another parts. One is insight part, that means knowledge discovery part, and another one is human trust. If we consider all these parts in an AI application or model, then we can actually effectively deploy in our real world applications. It could be either cybersecurity application or business application or whatever. But these 3 aspects are actually important. So, what is actually knowledge discovery and insights? That means if we can extract hidden relationships or patterns, okay, then it's actually easier for human analysts to understand the logic behind the decisions. Okay, in that case, we can effectively consider human AI collaboration. Okay, and human trust. Of course, we need to consider or calculate human trust for a particular AI solution. That means confidence to rely on AI decision. Okay, we might have different AI model or different algorithms. We can easily fit our data into the model. That's okay, and we will get outcome. But can we guarantee that we will get um, decision with 100% confidence? So that's actually the problem. So that's why we must need to establish human trust, and to do this, we must need to ensure that means effective knowledge discovery or insights, so that human can realize or understand the situation, or like they can understand the context, and they can make decision with AI as well. Okay. So now, as we discussed earlier, should we consider the same automation level for its application? The answer is no. That means based on the characteristics or problem scenario or application, we need to actually identify what level of automation we actually need. Okay, and how much user involvement is actually important. Okay, so if we consider alone, that means user as an operator only, and the user involvement is actually higher comparing to others. If we consider L2, that means user as a collaborator. So in this case, user involvement little bit lower than first one. Similarly, user can work as a consultant or approver, and final one, it's actually observer. That means human can act as an observer, and AI agent will take the full control. Okay, so that means depending on our problem and situation, or what type of solution we are actually targeting, so we need to first define what level of automation level we actually need. Then we need to select or either human role part or AI role part. That means human AI collaboration. Okay. And if we have a look on a big picture of AI technologies like classical AI, machine learning, deep learning, and up to agentic AI. Hmm. So earlier, AI technologies actually began with symbolic AI or classical AI, like expert system as well, or different types of knowledge representation. Then machine learning came, deep learning, generative AI, agentic AI. It's okay. These are different technologies or algorithms we already have. But the question is, um, if we want to consider automation according to our previous level, that means L1, L2 up to L5, so we can choose a different AI models or techniques. Now, insights, that means knowledge mining techniques. That means this part is actually meant to understand the context of the problem. Hmm. And it also helps to understand and calculate the trust as well. That's actually the important part for real world deployment. So in this case, the main question is how we can actually effectively discover knowledge or useful information or different types of relationship association, so that human analyst can also contribute uh, in the core part of AI decisions. Okay. So in some cases, we can also consider symbolic AI rather than black box AI. In some cases, we can consider black box AI. It's okay, but we may need to consider additional post-hoc explainability analysis part to ensure the transparency and safety. Okay. Okay, here is an example of symbolic AI, like rule-based AI. It's very popular. But earlier, rules are actually defined by human. But if we consider some advancement, that means we have data, but we want to consider the rule-based AI. So in that case, we can consider some data mining or some advanced techniques that actually helps to identify the relations or discover the rules from data, so that we can make effective decision based on the discovered rules. So that this part is also possible. Okay, so here is a taxonomy of a different rule-based system. It could be knowledge-driven based or data-driven based or hybrid. Um, in this paper, that is multi-expected rule-based AI, we actually discussed all the related technologies and techniques, how we can actually discover different types of rules to ensure transparency in AI-based model. So in some cases, we can consider knowledge-driven approach. In some cases, we can consider data-driven approach. We can also consider hybrid approach according to our needs and what type of resource we actually have. Okay. So now the intelligence part, that means it's actually difficult to compare like human intelligence with AI or data-driven intelligence. That's fine, but if we want to build an effective AI and human AI collaborative approach, then we must need to consider some key aspects. So if we consider this dimension, like in terms of speed, okay, so relatively slow in large volume data, it's true for human, but in that case, we can consider AI-driven decision making. Okay, consistency, similarly, learning style. Human actually learn from experience, intuition, and context, and AI is all about data and algorithms. Similarly, decision making, creativity, adaptability, explainability, and finally, best strength. When we actually need to consider human context and when we actually need to consider AI-based automation. Say, for example, for judgment, empathy, ethics, and oversight, we must need to consider human involvement in a particular AI-based solution. And on the other hand, for any type of automation, efficiency, or large-scale intelligence, we can consider AI technologies. So considering this type of like strength and weakness, we need to think about how we can actually build effective human AI collaborative techniques rather than only AI models. Okay, so that we can actually build trust for real-world deployment. Okay, so now what type of insights actually we need, or how we can actually extract this type of insights. So for this, we can ask these four questions. First question is, what actually happened? So if we want to answer this question, so we will get actually all the summary for a particular event or any application. Second one, why did it happen? If we have something anomalies or abnormal behavior, then next question should be, why did it happen? That means we need to find out actually the root cause. Okay, so that we can identify the main problem and design the AI model effectively. And next on, what will actually happen? It's actually represent future and what action should be taken. Of course, this should be our final optimization or final solution. Okay, and the main thing is, if we have this type of insights, we can make decision from human side. That means in that case, technologies actually help human to assist like making decisions. And if we need some sort of automation, this knowledge can also help for automation part as well. Okay. Now, in terms of intelligence level, what happened? It's actually descriptive analytics, and intelligence levels is actually low because it actually helps to understand the current context. Okay. So second one, why did it happen? So intelligence level is actually medium, but this type of analytics at least helps to identify the root cause and relationships. That's actually important for further decision making. Okay. Sorry. And next on, what will happen in actually future? So it's actually predictive analytics, but based on our previous two analytics, like descriptive analytics and diagnostic analytics, now we need to actually think about what will happen according to our current situation. And finally, what action actually should be taken? It's we can consider it as prescriptive analytics, and intelligence level is very high. So for any particular problem, if we consider in this way, it's actually help to understand the main context, and also helps to discover the key relationships between attributes and different events as well. So based on this, we can make AI model rather than black box AI model. Okay, so that's actually our main. Now, last part, it's actually trust.
Sorry to interrupt, Dr. Iqbal, sorry to interrupt you. Could you please conclude your lecture because of time constraint? So we have given 50 to 20 minutes to each and every speaker. So please conclude.
Sorry again, please. I cannot hear properly.
Please conclude within 5 minutes.
Okay, sure. No worries. And our final part is trust. Is trust is important or not? Yes, of course. Trust represents transparency, control, reliability, and ethics. The main thing is automation without intelligence or insights is actually dangerous, and intelligence without trust is actually unusable. So that's why it's actually the main reason why we are actually considering insights and trust. Okay. So this is another taxonomy as we have shortage of time. So please have a look from the paper. And here is one example like AI-based SOC with explainability. If we consider this problem, how we can actually divide this problem into different modules, and we can consider which part will be controlled by AI and which part will be controlled by human. Okay. And these are some ethical and responsible AI practice. Of course, we need to consider responsible AI practice. Yeah, so these are actually 10 key properties. So here we designed on framework, and we actually in this framework we actually discussed how we actually convert all the theoretical 10 key aspects into real world examples or real world application area. And according to our analysis and framework, we actually shown in this paper, based on these four key pillars like data, algorithms, human, and architecture, it's possible to consider all these theoretical key aspects into real world application scenarios. Okay. And agentic AI, it's another part. And here I have shown some key examples of agentic AI as well. And overall conclusions, of course, if we consider sustainable AI, automation, it's okay. It actually helps for speeding purpose only, but insights, it actually delivers understanding and informed decision making. And trust, why trust is actually important because it delivers impact, real world deployment. So that's why, in addition to automation, we also need to think about additional insights and trust so that we can actually deploy AI model in our real world application scenario. So thank you. I think we have shortage of time. So if you have any questions, I am happy to
Thank
answer.
you, Dr. Iqbal, for your insightful lecture on AI trust and responsible AI impact. So, because of time constraint, we'll take up time will permit. We'll take up certain questions after the lecture. If when all the lectures will be delivered, so we'll take up certain questions. Now, I want to call Priyanshi to formally felicitate our next speaker.
Okay, no worries. Thank you.
It is my privilege to invite our third keynote speaker, Professor M.N. Huda, a distinguished alumnus of our department, Director, Bharati Vidyapith Institute of Computer Applications and Management, New Delhi, to kindly join us on the stage. Please welcome sir with a huge round of applause. May I request Mr. Sabir Ali to kindly present bouquet to sir. I now request Dr. Mohammad Lukman to kindly present memento to sir.
Thank you, Priyanshi. So now we move to our second plenary speaker, Professor Mohammad Abulaish. Dr. Abulaish is a professor at the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, South Asian University, New Delhi. He is a distinguished researcher with over 27 years of academic and research experience. He has held several important leadership roles, including chairperson of the Department of Computer Science, director of admissions and examinations, and acting registrar at South Asian University. Prior to this, he served as professor and head of the Department of Computer Science at Jamia Millia Islamia, and also led advanced research in internet surveillance and forensics at King Saud University, Saudi Arabia. He earned his PhD from IT Delhi and is the founder of the Laboratory for Data Science and Analytics at South Asian University. His research lies at the intersection of artificial intelligence, machine learning, and data science, addressing real-world challenges in areas such as social network analysis, sentiment and emotion analysis, and health informatics. He has published over 150 research articles, including 8 papers in leading IEEE and ASEAN transactions. Professor Abulaish actively contributes to the global research community as an associate editor of the Social Network Analysis and Mining Journal, published by Springer, and online social networks and media journal published by Healthcare. He works as a program committee member of several top-tier conferences in the fields of artificial intelligence and data mining, including CICM, SDM, ICECI, PAI, ECAI, and PAKDD. He is a senior member of IEEE, ACM, and CSI. The topic of today's talk is Intelligence in the Age of Complexity, AI, Data, and Future of Sustainable Systems. May I request Professor Abulaish to please deliver the plenary lecture.
Good afternoon, respected dignitaries on the dais, of the dais, respected colleagues, and dear audience. It's my pleasure to be here to share some of the thoughts on data intelligence and AI. So this is my topic: intelligence in the age of complexity, AI, data, and the future of sustainable systems. Here in this talk, I am mainly going to focus on 3 key aspects. One is data, that is fuel for AI. Like without data, we can't train large models. And second, once we have data, how to use it for developing complex systems, you can say. Complex in the sense interconnected systems that is going to take care of various components or various disciplines together. And finally, whatever AI systems we are talking today, it should be responsible, plus it should be sustainable also. So this is the need of our, we are talking about AI systems. And we need to look into this aspect also. Like whatever systems we are going to develop, it should respect human values, you can say, or it should be ethical in the sense it should respect your privacy and other things. Like just you might have noticed there was a news like bro, if you give any picture to bro, then it was splitting off your clothes. The point was in this scenario, if suppose there is any AI system which is not respecting your privacy, then who is going to be responsible? This developer or organization or anybody else. So here, this 3 dimension I am going to just cover in this talk. So this is overview, setting the context from data to intelligence, AI models as decision engines, ethics, trust, and responsible AI. And finally, I'm going to conclude with some future directions that we can keep on focus for the South Asian University. Earlier we were in this Akbar Bhavan, Chanakya Puri, but just before 3 years we shifted to Maidangadi. This is a 100-acre campus. Earlier we were mainly focusing on masters and research programs, but recently since 2024 we started BTech in computer science engineering also, MTech also, plus some other BSMS programs. So now we are just expanding our teaching context, starting from UG to research. So here for BTech programs, either you can come through NEET examinations, or SAU had its own test that is conducted across all 8 SAU nations, including India also. So there are 2 channels to get admission. And since this BTech program is new, but since we are trying to maintain the quality that is required for very prestigious institutions, so you may consider to just propagate it, or just advertise it, so that there could be much competition for this BTech program. At this university, I am leading this laboratory for data science and analytics. I am the lead faculty. I have one very nice friend and Professor Jackie, who is very senior professor and very well-known researcher in the field of data mining. His book is very famous, that he recently wrote. And even in IITs also, this book is being followed in the data mining course. I have Reda Bahas from University of Calgary, Canada. He also keeps on working with us. One professor from JMU and my student from University of Kashmir. And I have 6 PhD students and 8 master's students. And besides these, there are now BTechs are coming to join the lab for some summer internship or some small projects that we are targeting. So now, like nowadays, it's no need to exemplify like in every walk of life there is data. Rather, all of us are daily generating a lot of data, either in the form of emails, you can say, or you can say putting posting on social media, or joining social media, or commenting on some post and so on. So now in every walk of life, there is data explosion. And at the same time, you can say with increasing amount of data, there is need of developing systems that could be able to handle this data, or we can say try to that could be able to get knowledge from this data for some decision making. But the point is, whatever system we are aiming to develop, it should be sustainable and it should be scalable. So it's not only a matter of automation. Rather, the system that we are targeting, it should be sustainable and it should be able to deal with dynamic data, or we can say multimodal data, or we can say varied data. Like in case of smart agriculture, you can say like sensors can be used to collect soil and weather data. And using these data, we can talk about AI systems that can predict irrigation needs. And finally, this system is going to help you reduce water wastage. So if you see here, like based on data, we can talk about AI models, and this AI model is helping you to take some sort of, you can say, like sustainable actions in the sense it's going to reduce water waste. So the world we are designing today, we are not just building models, rather we are trying to shape systems, societies, or future. AI is no longer a tool, it is an infrastructure for decision making, and sustainability is no longer optional, it is a constraint on all innovation. So if you see, like the age of intelligent system, we are moving from automation to intelligence to autonomy. Automation in the sense like a few years before we were talking about automated washing machine kind of things, automated traffic signal management and so on. Then intelligence came into picture like GPS system. You can talk about a system in which you can put your constraint. I want to go from route A to route B, and this is my constraint. I want shortest route. I want to avoid all kind of things. or you can say I want to go from A to B through C. So this kind of constraint can be placed, and then the system is able to give you optimum route that you can follow. And of course, in this routing process also, if suppose the route is not very congested, it's going to set free. So all these systems are interconnected. And from intelligence, we are now talking about autonomy. And this is one advantage of this AI that is coming into picture, or you can say AI-based system that we are talking about. Like you can say automated car, like self-driving car, you can say. So in this case, such systems are helping us to take the decision. Plus, you can say they are taking actions also. Like if you see this Digi Yatra, now at the airport, no need to place any person there. System is developed and system is installed. It requires some data of the passengers, and now without any human intervention, one can pass through this security check and they can go inside. So there are systems nowadays who are able to take decisions, plus they are able to take actions also. So we are moving from data-driven insight to AI-driven actions. So what we mean by AI today? So AI is not just chatbots or automation. It is not just algorithm. There is an ecosystem of data plus models plus computation. And here the key shift is from rule-based that we have started few years before. Like earlier, we kept on talking about automated systems. It means we were trying to design a set of rules, and based on those rules, we talked about automated systems. Then we switched to learning-based, like machine learning or deep learning or other kind of learning there. Then we got some foundation models. Okay. So AI basically this is prediction plus optimization plus decision support. In other sense, we can say nowadays AI is able to answer like what is likely to happen, what actions are optimal, and what risk should we anticipate. So these are the questions that can be answered using AI systems. So this is the stage of AI nowadays. And if you talk about sustainability, or you can say sustainable system, so this is nothing but balancing three pillars: environment, economy, and society. And this sustainability is a system problem because we have interconnected dimensions, and this is non-linear in nature. There is uncertainty, and this is multi-scale. So this uncertainty and this sustainability is very key factor that needs to be embedded with these AI systems. So, but whenever you talk about sustainable systems, they are generally complex in nature, like because they are having multiple components and there is interdependence. For example, increasing industrial production, it's going to boost economy, but at the same time, it's going to increase pollution, and that is going to harm environment. If you see this interconnected components and interconnected dependence, similarly in case of feedback loops, climate change, it reduces crop yield, and if crop yield is reduced, it's going to create food insecurity and it's going to impact societal instability. So similarly, trade-offs like cheap energy, if you use coal, it's going to create economic growth, but at the same time, it's going to cause environmental degradation. If you try to look into all these kind of systems, we can easily see there are multiple, or you can say ecosystem kind of thing. If you try to optimize one, it's going to impact other. If you try to optimize other, it's going to impact third. So you need to maintain some sort of guidance so that effective decisions could be taken, and those decisions and whatever actions are based on those decisions, they could be in, they could have, you can say, human values, or they could have some environmental benefit, you can say. So the need for like whatever system we are talking about, the system which is responsible, the system which is sustainable. If you talk about the system, there are multiple disciplines come into picture. Like one discipline cannot solve this kind of scenarios. Okay. So this climate change, public health, food security, if you try to look all these together, different domains are coming into picture, and they are supposed to work in a synergy. They are supposed to work together. In that sense, you can say AI without context is misleading, and context without AI, this is completely incomplete. So AI can be thought as a decision support framework, from descriptive to predictive, then prescriptive, and finally responsive. So in case of descriptive, simply you give any entity, it's able to characterize it. In case of predictive, if you pass any set of features, it's able to tell your class. In case of prescriptive, for a given particular situation, what action should be taken. And finally, whatever decisions are coming into picture, responsibility should be there, or you can say they are supposed to be having ethical values, and they are supposed to respect human privacy and ethics. So AI enables what happened, what will happen, and what should we do. But decisions remain human-centered, like disaster response planning. If you see, AI system can predict flood zones, and this prediction can be used to guide evacuation decisions. So here the key message is AI is not a standalone technology. It is a framework for transforming data into informed decisions for sustainable systems. And now this data, like whatever system you talk about, data is the basis. Like recently you might have listened about like India is reaching data, and there was like it was by a very senior leader, like our data is being given to others and so on. And he was emphasizing how rich we are in terms of data, and how this data can be used for very effective planning and decision making. So data is fuel of AI, and you can say every discipline is becoming data rich, and digital systems continuously generate data, and AI depends fundamentally on data quality. So this quality is very important. So basically, we are shifting from physical environment to digital ecosystem, and you can say no meaningful AI without meaningful data. Like earlier, when computer came into picture, we talked about garbage in, garbage out. If your input is garbage, of course, whatever powerful machine you are going to use, output is going to be garbage. Just like AI system also, if your input is, or if your data is not accurate, or you can say not meaningful, you are not going to get correct decisions, or you can say correct actions. And this is just a chart to show like how this data is growing day by day from different perspectives, or you can say different walk of life. And if you try to differentiate conventional versus modern data, or in case of conventional approach, we had hypothesis, we designed some experiment, and using that experiment, we get data. Then we try to analyze that data, we get some result. If result is not up to the mark, we change our hypothesis and keep on repeating this process. If you see this conventional approach, data is always controlled. Data is always, you can say, accurate up to some extent. But if you see this modern data era, here we have process experiments. Like we have Twitter platform, anybody can go and join. It means they can create a node in this Twitter data graph. And similarly, anybody can start posting on Twitter, anybody can start liking on posting Twitter. So we have simply process experiments. Similarly, suppose cameras are installed. If anybody is crossing, pictures are being captured and they are being stored. So in this modern data, we have simply process and experiments, and data is being generated, and there is no prior hypothesis to get this data. So this is called new science of data and so on. And if you try to look into data, there are a lot of challenges. Like data is not complete. If you simply take one example of filling these examination forms or entrance exam forms, nowadays we are talking about father's name, mother's name. But if you go 20 years before, we were not capturing mother's name. Similarly, nowadays we talk about mobile number of a student, mobile number of parents. But if you go 20 years before, there was no concept, like we were not capturing this kind of data, like telephone number was there. So data is incomplete. Data is noisy because it is generated using uncontrolled mechanism. Data is biased also. Nowadays, this in AI-based research, or you can say AI-based system. This is a very point of concern. If your AI model is trained on a data that is biased in nature, like suppose loan approval. If suppose you have passed data, what kind of persons applied and whether loan was granted or not. So you can easily find out there like persons from certain region, they were generally denied loan. Similarly, persons from certain communities, they were denied loan. If suppose such kind of data is there and you have an AI model that is trained on that data, and whenever any new data is coming for prediction purpose, so it is going to be biased in the sense based on region, based on communities. This system is going to reject loan approvals kind of things. Similarly, dynamic data is not static nowadays. It is dynamic in nature, and data keeps on evolving. Like based on current snapshot, if you try to make a system, after 1 week, data is going to be changed. So this system should be able to adapt this kind of changes, or you can say like ChatGPT might have noticed. If you try to use it and try to put some question now, it may be the case in the first instance your answer is not up to the mark. There could be some errors, there could be some inconsistencies. But if you try to repeat the same question after some days, then you can see the answers are better than the previous one. It means such systems are able to look into your questions also, look into database also, the data that they are storing, they are relying on, and they are trying to keep on updating their data and keep on refining their database also, so that in future your questions could be answered in a better way. Okay. So you can try this dynamic nature of ChatGPT kind of systems who are trying to adapt this evolving databases, or you can say evolving this question based on all the things. So this evolution in the sense of structured, unstructured, multimodal, like nowadays in machine learning, if you talk any researcher what you are doing, so they are not simply talking about I am working on structured data, or I am working on this unstructured data like text kind of things, or I am working on images. Rather, most of them are now focusing on like multimodal data. Like for sentiment analysis also, you can talk about this Twitter post, you can use emojis, you can use audios, you can use images. Why this is possible? Just due to this deep learning developments, like it's very easy to look into images and try to look into their captions. Similarly, emojis, trying to convert into text, having their meanings, and we have textual. So using these technologies, it's very easy to unify your data, put into a coherent format, then try to analyze their data for a better result. So these are common challenges that are associated with data. So data quality is very important. That's why if you try to look at knowledge discovery pipeline, out of 7, 8 stages, the major stages are data pre-processing. Because if data is not correct or not accurate, or you can say not cleaned, whatever model you are going to apply, it's going to create, you can say, some disturbing outputs, or you can say inaccurate outputs. So this is one major challenge that we have to look into. Similarly, ethical and societal dimensions like bias and fairness, it's a major concern. Privacy and accountability, in the sense if any decision is going wrong, then who should be accountable? Okay. So this emerging research area could be fairness metrics, how to check whether data is fair or not. What could be metrics based on that you can quantify this data is fair up to this extent, how to quantify it. Similarly, whatever algo we are developing, how to check their accountability. Okay. So the most dangerous AI system is the one we trust blindly. So if you see some case studies, like in case of healthcare, we have EHR, electronic health records, we have diagnostic images, we have population health statistics. Okay. So this, if you try to combine these three data together, it's going to enable data-driven healthcare decisions. Like you can talk about early disease detection, risk prediction, and resource planning. Like in Corona, we might have witnessed there was lot of planning in the sense like how many beds you have to arrange, how much oxygen you have to arrange. So lot of data, or we can say some sort of background knowledge was required to take this kind of decisions, like what kind of things are spreading, what are the risks, and what is the nature of a spread and all the things. And then based on that, you can say what kind of risk could come and how much resources we have to put in pipeline. So here the key message is data analysis, insight, and decision. AI transform raw data into actionable intelligence, but success depends on data quality. This is one aspect I am trying to highlight. Ethical responsibility and interdisciplinary collaboration. Okay. So here, if you see this data to intelligence, I would just like to highlight one answer, like one example, like basket data analysis. You might have noticed in data mining tools, this a priori algorithm was the first algorithm, and this was the basis of, or you can say this was the basis of birth of data mining concept. And nowadays, this data mining, data science, data analytics, network science, this is a very, we can say, well-studied domain and very well applicable domain also. If you try to just look into this basic algorithm that was given by Agarwal and his colleagues, they were from India itself. The point was very basic mathematical observation. Like if a set is not frequent, then any superset of this is not going to be frequent. Frequent in the sense occurrence should be greater than equal to a certain threshold. And second observation was, for a set to be frequent, all its subset must be frequent. One was called forward property, other was called backward property. So they noticed two kinds of observations, like one is forward property kind of things, like if any set is frequent and not frequent, any superset of these are bound to be non-frequent. And similarly, for a set to be frequent, all its subset must be frequent. And based on that, they proposed the concept of frequent item set. And here the idea was there is a manager just looking at the customers. They are coming and putting the items in a basket. Then he just looking which two items are bought by all the customers, or most of the customers. Which three items are bought by most of the customers. If you are able to say like X and Y are frequently bought, then based on this particular observation, particular pattern, you can easily take a lot of decisions. Like you can decrease the price of X, you can increase the price of Y. Like suppose printer and cartridge kind of things. You can decrease the price of printer to just increase your user base, and you can decrease the price of cartridge to get money or to get profit. Similarly, in supermarket also, if you know X and Y are bought by almost all the customers, no need to keep X in this problem, Y in other problem. Better try to put X, Y together. Similarly, using this information, if suppose any new product is coming in the market, you can try to put that product between X and Y, because you know whoever is purchasing X also purchases Y also. Okay. So there is a high probability he or she is going to have a look at that new product also. So just looking at data and finding this kind of frequent patterns, 2-item patterns, 3-item patterns, is going to help you more to profit making, market, or you can say superstore management, to advertisement. Similarly, another example, if you try to see this stage running kind of scenario, and if you try to see how this concept came into picture. So this was from social science concept and this prestige theory. Right? They looked at the prestige theory, and there the point was in a society how to say which person is most prestigious. And the idea was, let us assume all persons are equally prestigious. Then try to see who is endorsing whom. Like suppose I endorses 3. So my prestige, 1/3 going here, 1/3 going here, 1/3 going here. There is another person X endorsing 4. So 25% going there, 25% going there. So let us take a set of people, then try to find out who endorses whom, Then you try to divide this prestige of each node. Then for each node, try to look who is endorsing it and what prestige is coming. Just add them together and keep on repeating this process. Finally, it's going to converge. So this was the prestige theory from social science. Then they try to look into mathematics and they proved this recursive process is going to converge. And in the end, whatever weights are given to each person, that is their prestige, and based on that, they can be ranked. So they thought this set of web pages in the same scenario, like we have web pages, one page linking other pages like through hyperlinks, and using this prestige theory, they proposed this page rank algorithm, and that was the basis for establishment of Google. Nowadays, how this billion-dollar company took place by using this simple observation and simple page rank algorithm. So these are two examples. In one case, we took some mathematics and tried to solve some problem. In other case, we took some observation from social science and then tried to solve some problem that was very, you can say, correct. So here the key message is AI models learn patterns, support predictions, and inform decisions. But sustainable impact requires data, models, and human expertise. So just 2 slides more on ethics in AI. So ethics are basically principles that ensure AI systems are fair, accountable, transparent, and aligned with human values and societal goods. So here the questions that we need to answer is the system fair to everyone? This is very important. Like in SIR, you might have noticed some noise, like system, like what we can do. This is system who is rejecting the people their name from the SIR list. So is the system fair to everyone? Like in Bengal also the question was this Bandhopadhyay and Banerjee and Chattopadhyay and Chatterjee, the system was not able to make. In case of Muslim names also like Muhammad, this is having so many spellings. MOHD, MUHMAD, MOHMAD. So if you develop any system which is strictly following some spelling matching, and if suppose the system is not able to look into all these aspects of spelling, right, is rejecting. The question is the system fair to everyone? Can we trust its decision? Who is responsible if something goes wrong? Like there was some counter argument. We are not doing anything. This is the machine or this is the system who is rejecting the name based on the form that they have filled. So there are some discrepancies in father's name, mother's name, spelling others, and based on that, system is not able to accept it. And does it respect privacy and human rights? This is very important. So AI plus domain knowledge plus ethics, we can talk about sustainable solutions. So these are various dimensions of ethics, like principles, avoid discrimination, gender, caste, race, income group, ensure equitable and outcomes, accountability, who is responsible, developer, organization, policymaker, transparency and explainability, can we understand what the decision was made, especially critical in healthcare, law and finance. Like whatever, like drone was supposed rejected. The point is why it was rejected. The person is having this particular disease. The doctor would like to see what are the symptoms behind it. Then only he can justify like whether this prediction is correct or not. So in many cases, we talk about explainable AI systems. Like whatever predictions are coming, the underlying cause should be explained or should come together also. Similarly, privacy, is user data protected, is consent taken, safety and reliability. So just in healthcare AI, you can see, if we talk about without ethics, like trained mostly on urban population data, so this system cannot work well on like rural data or rural patients. But with ethics, we can say diverse data set, urban, rural, demographic diversity. It can model explainability, like doctors understand predictions and human oversight. So similarly, in case of loan approval system, data should be from all different dimensions. Then accordingly, you can say the system is going to behave ethically. Similarly, in case of agriculture, also we need to balance some sort of various dimensions. So here ethics is not an add-on to AI, rather it defines whether AI is beneficial or harmful. So an accurate AI system can still be unethical. So there could be AI system that is very high inaccuracy, but it is not ethically correct. So we need to have, we need to look into this dimension that whatever system we are talking about, it should be sustainable and it should be ethical also. So here I would like to just stop. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your informative lecture. And I'm sure that researchers who are sitting here must have benefited from this particular lecture. And you have shown several new research direction, especially in trustable and responsible AI. Now I move on to next speaker, and the third and the last speaker is for this session is Professor Emin Hoda. Professor Hoda is working as a professor of computer science and founder director of Bharati Vidyapeeth Institute of Computer Application and Management, New Delhi. He has over 30 years of experience in academics. So over to you, sir.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh and good afternoon to everyone. Faisal Saab, मैं alumni हूँ, मेरे teachers मौजूद हैं, colleagues and all my junior friends here. बायोडाटा पढ़ने से अच्छा है कि साइकिल स्टीलिंग ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम का कॉन्सेप्ट यूज करके वो 2-3 मिनट भी स्टील कर लें. Because it's very difficult for a last speaker to stand before you and your lunch. And I was checking the schedule, it is also already at 1. But yes, during conferences, always it happens. And that's why it is a 90 minutes lunch which has been announced for. Don't worry, I will be as short as possible. At the outset, let me congratulate the entire department, especially Professor Asim Zafar and Professor Rahman Rasool Faridi, for continuing the series which has started last year, and I was part of last year organizing in India. So a big congratulations to all. जो मिसरे हैं बहुत फेमस एलिगेरियन हूँ, इसलिए अपनी बातों के बीच में कुछ तो मिसरे रखता हूँ, कुछ अपने और कुछ बहुत मशहूर शायरों के. ये जो सफर की शुरुआत करते हैं वो मंजिल तो पा ही लेते हैं. जो सफर की शुरुआत करते हैं वो मंजिल तो पा ही लेते हैं, क्योंकि अच्छे मुसाफिर का तो रास्ते भी इंतजार करते हैं. मुझे याद है पिछले साल आसिम साहब जब ये कॉन्फ्रेंस की शुरुआत कर रहे थे, कितने इस बार कितनी सोच में थे, और अल्टीमेटली सेकेंड एडिशन सक्सेस के साथ आपके सामने प्रेजेंट किया गया है. ये जो कोर टीम है, ऑर्गेनाइजिंग टीम की जिस कोर टीम ने काम किया होगा, आप उनसे पूछिए कि कितनी रात खराब होती है, कितना ब्लड एंड स्वेट ये लेता है, अब तब जाकर ये कॉन्फ्रेंस मंत्रियाम पर हमारे और आपके सामने आती है. And who else can tell you this story better than me, who is organizing IEEE conferences last 20 years. पिछले 20 साल से इंडिया फॉर्म के नाम से फेमस है. बहुत सारे मेरे फ्रेंड्स जो यहाँ हैं, उनका पेपर भी इंडिया फॉर्म में छपा होगा. इस 20 सालों में तकरीबन 65,000 पेपर हमने प्रोसेस किए हैं. इंडिया फॉर्म तकरीबन 7,500 से ज्यादा पेपर, 7600 कुछ पेपर हमारे एक्सप्लोर पे अवेलेबल हैं अंडर द बैनर ऑफ इंडिया. आप जाइए एक्सप्लोर सर्च कीजिए. तो कितनी मेहनत होती है. मैं पिछले साल भी आसिम साहब को बताया था कि अगर आपके पास 2-3 लोग हैं जो रात के डिनर के बाद 11 बजे बैठे हैं और सुबह के 4 बजे सोने को तैयार हैं, और ये 2 महीना करने को तैयार हैं, तो आप कॉन्फ्रेंस प्लान कीजिए, कॉन्फ्रेंस कर सकते हैं. या फिर रिवर्स करें कि आप 3 बजे जगें और सुबह के 8 बजे तक काम करें. लेकिन मुझे खुशी महसूस हो रही है, बहुत सारी कॉन्फ्रेंसेस कंट्री में होती हैं, बहुत सारे लोग कभी 1 बार 2 बार IEEE से अप्रूवल भी मिलता है, लेकिन कंटिन्यूटी बिकॉज ऑफ दिस होल लॉट ऑफ कंटिन्यूटी नहीं मेंटेन कर पाते हैं. जो सेकेंड एडिशन हो रहा, उसकी मुझे इतनी खुशी है कि 8th को मेरी अपनी कॉन्फ्रेंस है, जहां तकरीबन हम 900 पेपर प्रेजेंट करवाएंगे 8 पैरेलल ट्रैक में. उसके बावजूद लास्ट ईयर में नहीं आ सका था, जिसका रन है मुझे. उसके बावजूद जब आसिम साहब और अरमान साहब ने मुझे फोन किया, मैंने कहा मुझे कब आना है, दोनों दिन से वो बच गई है. So congratulations to all of you. Dear friends, अभी प्रोफेसर बुल्लैद साहब की और एक इंटरेस्टिंग टॉक में सुन रहा था। आपने देखा कि जो कंप्यूटेशनल इन इंटेलिजेंस आज का थीम है, जो इस कॉन्फ्रेंस का थीम रखा गया है, तो किस तरीके से एडवांसमेंट हो रही है। मैंने ऑलमोस्ट देश की, इस कंट्री की जितनी प्रोफेशनल सोसाइटीज हैं सभी हिट की हैं, बी इट कंप्यूटर सोसाइटी ऑफ इंडिया, बी इट इंस्टीट्यूशन ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स एंड टेलीकम्युनिकेशन इंजीनियर्स, बी इट इंडियन सोसाइटी फॉर टेक्निकल एजुकेशन, और आजकल पिछले 1.25 साल से मैं IEEE दिल्ली सेक्शन का चेयर हूँ, जहाँ 4 स्टेट्स एंड 4 यूनियन टेरिटरीज, एक 6 साल पहले तक यूपी हमारे साथ ही था, जो अब IIT कानपुर वालों ने अलग किया दिल्ली स्टेट। Delhi section is the biggest section of the country and the first section IEEE section in entire country इस साल 13th मई 2025 से 12th मई 2026 तक हम गोल्डन जुबली 50th accomplished years of IEEE section सेलिब्रेट करते हैं। तो जब मैं मेन टाइम विदेश में कंट्री के ट्रैवल करता हूँ फॉर सच ऑकेजन्स, तो पीपल कीप आस्किंग, particularly young researchers मुझसे पूछते हैं कि so much of advancement has happened and in this advancement so much of information is available in public domain. ये कॉन्फ्रेंसेस और आप जैसे लोग साथ कॉन्फ्रेंस के बारे में कहते हैं कि फिजिकल मोड में होना चाहिए, क्या खास बात है? मैं उनसे कहता हूँ यस इट इज पॉसिबल। मैं भी टेक्नोलॉजी का स्टूडेंट हूँ, कंप्यूटर साइंस का स्टूडेंट हूँ, कंप्यूटर साइंस 30 सालों से 29 साल से ज्यादा हो गया पढ़ाते हुए, लेकिन मैं ये समझता हूँ कि वन कंप्यूटर यूजिंग कंप्यूटेशनल इंटेलिजेंस सॉफ्टवेयर एंड कनेक्टिंग विद द सेम कंप्यूटेशनल इंटेलिजेंस is now capable of doing the job of thousand many people put together. But despite all these advancements, even thousand many computers put together will all advance computational intelligence software is not capable of doing the job of one extraordinary person. And the purpose of these conferences are to bring those extraordinary people under one roof and one platform to foster collaborations, to nurture collaboration, to ensure that the research direction should be with the help of the interventions of the people and the extraordinary people. ये है वो पर्पस जिसकी वजह से कॉन्फ्रेंसेस ऑर्गेनाइज की जाती हैं, जिनके लिए ये 4 मिसरे मैं हमेशा समर्पित करता हूँ कि आशियाने इससे बढ़कर है लिटरेचर, आशियाने इससे बढ़कर है लिटरेचर, मन आशियाना तो फिर बना लेंगे हम, एक उम्मीद की लौ सलामत रहे, 100 दिए इस दिए से जला लेंगे। तो ये कोशिश जारी रहनी चाहिए, जारी रहनी चाहिए। हर साल डिपार्टमेंट कॉन्फ्रेंस ऑर्गेनाइज करता रहे, ये मेरी ख्वाहिश है। एंड इन whichever capacity I can help, in whichever way I can contribute, it will be my pleasure, my fortunate work to contribute for the department. Thank you so much. नेक्स्ट मैं इंपॉर्टेंट कॉन्फ्रेंस के थीम पे ये कहना चाहता हूँ कि इंडस्ट्रियल रेवोल्यूशन 4.0 आप सब जितने लोग यहाँ बैठे हैं उन्होंने देखा है, इंडस्ट्रियल रेवोल्यूशन 5.0 में हम इंटर कर चुके हैं। जो डिफरेंस प्राइमरीली इंडस्ट्रियल रेवोल्यूशन 3.0 के बाद से आया वो प्राइमरीली आया कि हमें फुल्ली डिजिटल वर्ल्ड में लेकर आया, जो डिजिटल वर्ल्ड इमेजिन नहीं किया जा सकता विदाउट द प्रेजेंस ऑफ इंटेलिजेंट कंप्यूटिंग। And when we are talking of intelligent computing, the intelligent computing which is changing the entire facet of our day. तो इसको सामने रख के अगर आप देखें, बहुत सिंपल सी बात है, इंडस्ट्रियल रेवोल्यूशन 3.0 में भी ऑटोमेशन था, इंडस्ट्रियल रेवोल्यूशन 4.0 में जब ऑटोमेशन आया तो हमने ये कोशिश की कि अब पीपल, अब जो यूजर्स हैं वो पॉइंट ऑफ सेल तक जाने के बजाय जो सर्विस प्रोवाइडर है वो पॉइंट ऑफ सेल तक आए। अब कंप्यूटेशन जो प्राइमरीली सर्वर पे होता था वो सर्वर पे होने के बजाय कंप्यूटेशन क्लाइंट पे होने लगे, इसलिए हमने अच्छे सिस्टम्स की क्लाइंट लेवल पे बात करनी शुरू की, अच्छे कंप्यूटेशनल सॉफ्टवेयर की क्लाइंट लेवल पे होने की बात की। और इस ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन ने जो डिजिटल वर्ल्ड क्रिएट किया, उस ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन के लिए मैं हमेशा कहता हूँ कि देयर इज नथिंग पॉसिबल ऑन दिस अर्थ एक्सेप्ट चेंज, लेट्स बी रेडी टू अडॉप्ट टू चेंजेस अप फ्रंट, otherwise the rapidly changing technological ecosystem will change all of us. If I ask you that how many of you have Nokia feature phone now? None. Had I asked this question 15 years ago in a similar hall, possibly 80% plus people would have said yes. अब वो फीचर फोन इतना रोबस्ट हुआ करता था, आप सब सॉफ्टवेयर के स्टूडेंट्स हैं, रोबस्टनेस कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स जानते हैं कि अगर गिर जाए और 4 टुकड़े हो जाए उठा के जोड़िए और अगले मोमेंट पे चलता था। आज का ये एडवांस आईफोन नहीं चल सकता अगर गिर जाए तो आप इमेजिन कीजिए इतना रोबस्ट सिस्टम अगर मार्केट से, अगर लोगों के यूज से डिस्प्लेस हो सकता है तो एनीथिंग एंड एवरीथिंग इन दिस वर्ल्ड कैन बी चेंज। और इसी वजह से मैं हमेशा कहता हूँ कि इंसान हर बदलता है लिबास बदलता है, रिश्ते बदलता है, दोस्त बदलता है, फिर भी परेशान क्यों रहता है? क्योंकि हम अपने आप को नहीं बदलते। एंड दैट इज व्हाई गालिब के लिए दो मिसरे से कनेक्ट कर रहा हूँ कि उम्र भर गालिब यही भूल करता रहा, धूल चेहरे पे थी और मैं आईना साफ करता रहा। हमारे दोस्त प्रोफेसर अब्दुल्लाह साहब ने अभी थोड़ा और फाइनली हर एक स्पीकर का काम है चैलेंजेस बताकर आपको जाना। उन्होंने चैलेंजेस ये बताई, बायसनेस बताई, सिक्योरिटी बताई, रिस्क बताया, प्राइवेसी बताई, इतनी सारी चीजें एआई की चैलेंजेस बताई। मैं हमेशा ये कहता हूँ कि जो भी कंप्यूटेशनल इंटेलिजेंस को एडवांस एप्लीकेशंस हैं, आप सिंपल टेक्नोलॉजी की अगर यूज करना चाहते हैं, टेक्नोलॉजी को अपने असिस्टेंट की तरह यूज कीजिए। मेरे पास प्राइवेट असिस्टेंट है, पूरा सेक्रेटरिएट है 20 लोगों का, लेकिन मैं अगर सेक्रेटरिएट के स्टाफ पे डिपेंडेंट हो जाऊंगा और अपना इंटेलेक्ट यूज नहीं करूंगा तो वही मिस यूज शुरू होगा और वही उस शेर के मुताबिक होगा कि धूल चेहरे पे थी और मैं आईना साफ करता रहा। टेक्नोलॉजी की कमियां हमेशा रहेंगी, लेकिन हम सब टेक्नोलॉजी के स्टूडेंट इस बात को कमिट करने आए हैं कि हम टेक्नोलॉजी को लोगों के बेहतरी के लिए यूज करेंगे, लोगों की लाइफ को ट्रांसफॉर्म करने के लिए यूज करेंगे। IEEE का चेयर हूं और IEEE का जो यूएसपी है वो देखें, एडवांसिंग टेक्नोलॉजी फॉर ह्यूमैनिटी। टेक्नोलॉजी का वो एडवांसमेंट जो पब्लिक लोगों की लाइफ बदल दे। और आप में से पता नहीं मुझे कितने लोग IEEE के मेंबर हैं, आई वुड लाइक टू promote that as well. IEEE के मेंबर बनिए। I have served to all professional societies and had the capacity of heading it, but no other professional society in the world has touched the life of a common man with the help of the technology the way IEEE has. Many of you computer science and a conference IEEE UP section ने approve किए, दिल्ली करे या यूपी करे। UP was part of Delhi section till 6 years ago. So बात एक ही है, लेकिन IEEE के साथ इमेजिन करें आपने कंप्यूटर नेटवर्क पढ़ा होगा, सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियरिंग पढ़ा होगा। मैं सिर्फ IEEE की एप्लीकेशन अगर आप ये समझ रहे कि IEEE 802.x तक लिमिटेड है, 802.2.3.4.5 ये सारे ईथरनेट टोकन, बस टोकन स्टैंडर्ड्स, या 802.11 और .x कर दिया मैंने, उसमें सारे वाईफाई के सारे स्टैंडर्ड्स तक लिमिटेड है। देन माय डियर फ्रेंड्स, वी आर मिस्टेकन। IEEE is not just that the communication protocol, or IEEE is not just the networking protocol, or IEEE is not just the standard given for software engineering or databases. IEEE is much beyond that. मैं हमेशा जब डॉक्टर से बात करता हूँ और वो मेरे विजिटिंग कार्ड पे देखते हैं चेयर IEEE दिल्ली, तो वो दिल्ली सेक्शन, तो वो पूछते हैं लेकिन IEEE का हमारी लाइफ में क्या रोल है। मैं उनको बताता हूँ अगर मेरा IEEE 111073 स्टैंडर्ड आपकी लाइफ में, आपके ICCU में ना चले तो आपके ICCU के डिवाइस की इंटरऑपरेबिलिटी एंड कम्युनिकेशन बंद हो जाएगी और आप पेशेंट का डेटा नहीं मिल सकेगा और आप कम्युनिकेट नहीं कर पाएंगे। ये IEEE की डाइवर्सिटी एंड वर्सेटिलिटी डॉक्टर्स की लाइफ की। जब इलेक्ट्रिकल इंजीनियर, मेरे पास कैंपस में बीटेक के सारे डिसिप्लिन हैं, जब इलेक्ट्रिकल इंजीनियर आते हैं तो कहते हैं नहीं हमें इतना ज्यादा नहीं, कम्युनिकेशन मेरा सब्जेक्ट है लेकिन इतना भी नहीं। मैं उनको बताता हूँ जी नहीं, आपका स्मार्ट ग्रिड अगर IEEE का स्टैंडर्ड ना हो तो बंद हो जाएगा। आपके स्मार्ट ग्रिड की रिलायबिलिटी, सेफ्टी, इंटरऑपरेबिलिटी, सिक्योरिटी IEEE स्टैंडर्ड देते हैं। जब ये आजकल इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल्स आने लगे हैं, आप उनके साथ देखें, अगर इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल्स वाले हो तो वो भी बिना IEEE स्टैंडर्ड के फास्ट चार्जिंग का सिस्टम नहीं डिवाइस कर सकते, चाहे वो फीचर फोन यूज कर रहा हो या स्मार्टफोन यूज कर रहा हो। आधे दर्जन मिनिमम स्टैंडर्ड्स, अगर आप स्मार्टफोन यूज कर रहे हैं तो बहुत बार more than a dozen of standards of IEEE you are using in this single smartphone, without which you cannot communicate. फीचर फोन वाले भी जो एडाप्टर यूज करते हैं अपनी बैटरी को चार्ज करने के लिए, वो रिलायबल और सेफ तरीके से करंट पास हो, इस बात के लिए IEEE का स्टैंडर्ड है। और कोई विदाउट स्टैंडर्ड वाला एडाप्टर यूज कर रहे हैं तो बैटरी आपकी खराब होने वाली है और अनसेफ होने वाली है। तो इस वर्सेटिलिटी के साथ IEEE हमारे पास अवेलेबल है। जो मेंबर नहीं है, मेंबर जुड़िए IEEE की। और IEEE की जो वो एप्लीकेशन, जो टेक्नोलॉजी ह्यूमन एडवांसमेंट ऑफ ह्यूमैनिटी के लिए यूज होती है, वो फ्री होती है। ऐसे सारे प्रोजेक्ट्स इंकरेजमेंट के साथ फंड किए जाते हैं। इमेजिन कीजिए, स्पेशल इंटरेस्ट ग्रुप ऑन ह्यूमैनिटी इन टेक्नोलॉजी मेंबरशिप एब्सोल्युटली फ्री। ये स्पेशल इंटरेस्ट ग्रुप ऑफ ह्यूमैनिटी इन टेक्नोलॉजी का पर्पस है कि टेक्नोलॉजी, पर्टिकुलरली द AI लेवल टेक्नोलॉजीज, हम पीपल उस ग्रुप तक ले जाएं जहां वो टेक्नोलॉजी के हेल्प से अपनी लाइफ को इम्प्रोवाइज कर सकें। तो थैंक यू सो मच। नेक्स्ट दो चीजें और कह के मैं कंक्लूड करना चाहूंगा कि AI पे बातें शायद कल से हो रही हैं, कुछ मैंने आते आते सुबह सोशल मीडिया पोस्ट पढ़ी और 2 लेक्चर मैंने सुना है। बहुत सारे डोमेन पे डिस्कशन हो रहा, ये समझें कि इन जनरल कंप्यूटेशनल इंटेलिजेंस has gone much beyond than the traditional decision support system, expert system, rule-based system. Now, Professor Abulais has rightly said that from the descriptive to predictive, it has gone much beyond to kind of prescriptive and responsive AI. And now AI at one end, AI system intelligently at one end is helping the housewife in a kitchen to understand that how to cook a delicious food. But at the same time, the same software helps a lawyer to prepare and plan the case for arguments in the court tomorrow. That's the kind of the diversity and versatility of the AI. At one end, it helps the town planner, the architect to design a smart, eco-friendly, sustainable city. Then at the other end, the same software helps the medical practitioners to diagnose the complex kind of applications for the purpose of the patient diagnosis. That's the kind of the diversity and applicability of the AI in our day-to-day life. AI has become omnipresent in our day-to-day life. मेरी रिक्वेस्ट सिर्फ इतनी है कि हम AI को पर्सनल या कंप्यूटेशनल इंटेलिजेंस सॉफ्टवेयर को पर्सनल असिस्टेंट जैसे ही यूज करें, और अगर ऐसे नहीं यूज करेंगे तो ये सारे बायस, ये सारे रिस्क, ये सारी सिक्योरिटी, ये सारी प्राइवेसी जो हमने और आपने सुनी है, इन सब के हम शिकार होते रहेंगे और फिर हम गिला करते रहेंगे कि हमारे साथ ऐसा हो गया। तो मैं हमेशा ये 4 मिसरे हैं जिसके लिए समर्पित करता हूँ रिस्पॉन्सिव यूज के लिए एज एन असिस्टेंट, कि जो चाहते हो चिरागों को हम सफल रखना, जो चाहते हो चिरागों को हम सफल रखना, जरा हवा के इरादों के भी नजर रखना, हम गुजर गए तो ये शिकायतें कैसी, कहा था किसने कि तूफान की सबके रहना। तो टेक्नोलॉजी का यूज रिस्पॉन्सिव तरीके से करें। इस 4 मिसरे का जवाब अल्लाह महफाल की 2 पंक्तियों में मौजूद है, जो मैं आमतौर पे सुनाता हूँ कि मैं आंधियों की जमानत लिखा के आया हूँ, मैं आंधियों की जमानत लिखा के आया हूँ, मेरा चिराग हवाओं के पास रख देना। मैं सारे पोर्ट्स प्लग करके आया हूँ, कोई वल्नरेबिलिटी मेरे सिस्टम में नहीं हो सकती है, मैं सिस्टम पे 100% डिपेंडेंट नहीं हूँ। मैं आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस को आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस जैसे यूज करूंगा, नेचुरल इंटेलिजेंस जैसे नहीं यूज करूंगा। नेचुरल इंटेलिजेंस को हमेशा आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस के ऊपर रखने की कोशिश करूंगा। अगर ऐसी एप्लीकेशन, ऐसे रिसर्चेस के साथ आप काम कर रहे हैं, तो इकबाल के शेर में इसका जवाब है कि मैं आंधियों की जमानत लिखा के आया हूँ, मेरा चिराग हवाओं के पास रखे। डियर फ्रेंड्स, लास्ट आपसे 1 मिनट ये कहना है कि रिसर्चेस हम सब लोगों ने की है, आप सारे लोग कर रहे हैं, बहुत सारे ऑनलाइन होंगे। आज रिसर्च की जरूरत इस बात की है, एज एन एम्बेसडर ऑफ IEEE, एज ए चेयर ऑफ IEEE, the message through this conference I wanted to give you, whatever you are going to do it, see to it that what is the translational value of that research which you are going to take up. If that research is not going to solve the problem of the humanity or not going to transform the life of the people, probably you should think twice why are you doing research. And if you are yet doing, then find that who will be your user of the research and what is the commercial value of that research, if not the human ID is not involved. So keep that particular aspect into the mind. Next, as a student of computer science, I would like to present my journal to the department once again, which department has already subscribed. Maulana Azad Library has also have. And I told you that there are 2 flagship initiatives, despite in addition to other initiatives. One, the conference which I have started in the IEEE, the 20th edition will be on 8th, 9th, and 10th of April. And second, in 2009, I started a journal like any other college starts magazine or journal. I started a journal, and ये इसके लिए मैं बशीर बद्र की एक बहुत फेमस गजल है, उसकी 4 मिसरे इसके बिगिनिंग में कहना चाहूंगा। जो कुछ आप करें, पैशनेट रहिए, जुनून रखिए, जज्बा रखिए, जोड़े रखिए। मुझे ये दूसरा एडिशन कॉन्फ्रेंस का देखकर बहुत खुशी हो रही है। ये उसी जज्बे को आगे बढ़ाते रहने की और सलामत रखने की निशान है। तो अगर आप जज्बा और जुनून रखेंगे तो जो भी आपके ऑब्जेक्टिव्स हैं, जिस डोमेन में आप काम करना चाहते हैं, वहां आपको कामयाबी मिलेगी। तो बशीर बद्र ये कहते हैं कि आंखों में रहा दिल में उतर कर नहीं देखा। थोड़ा सा मैंने चेंज किया है बशीर बद्र की गजल कि आंखों में रहा दिल में उतर कर नहीं देखा, कश्ती के मुसाफिर ने समंदर नहीं देखा, जब से चला हूं मंजिल पे नजर मेरी, राह में कभी मुड़कर मील का पत्थर नहीं देखा। इस जुनून के साथ, इस पैशन के साथ, इस कमिटमेंट के साथ आप अपने काम को आगे बढ़ाएंगे तो कामयाबी सिर्फ आपका मुकद्दर है, कामयाबी आपके पीछे होगी और आप आगे होंगे। ये बशीर बद्र ने कहा था। 2009 में मैंने एक जर्नल की शुरुआत की थी और यकीन मानिए कि पहला 7 साल 2009 से 2016 तक it was becoming absolutely difficult to sustain a journal. And मेरा जो एक पर्सनल नेटवर्क है all across the country and abroad अपने फ्रेंड्स प्रोफेसर्स के साथ, मैं उनसे रिक्वेस्ट करके 20 पेपर्स ईयर किसी तरह अच्छे 20 पेपर्स मैनेज करता था ताकि 10 पेपर्स पर इशू एंड 20 पेपर्स पर ईयर मींस 2 इश्यूज पर ईयर मैं पब्लिश कर सकूं. But 2016, Springer Nature Singapore team, while coming to India, they wrote to me that we want to meet you, and when they met me, they gave a straightaway proposal that we are following your journal since last 3 years, and we are realizing that good publications are happening, but because you do not have international team with you, so your international visibility is not happening, and we wanted to take it. आप इमेजिन कीजिए, एक खुशी इस तरफ है कि जर्नल को कोई टेक ओवर करने को तैयार है, और एक गम इस तरफ है कि मेरे 7 सालों के पूर्ण पसीने की जो मेहनत है वो कोई पब्लिशर कहता मैं लूंगा. लेकिन आफ्टर सो मच ऑफ नेगोशिएशन फाइनली वी एग्रीड टू साइन एन एग्रीमेंट ऑफ co-publication, and now this journal from 2017 onwards is co-published by Springer Nature from Singapore. And last 7 years statistics, the first 7 years, the last 7 years statistics says that it is the fastest growing journal in the Scopus index databases. Scopus has ranked us at 96th percentile Q1 Scopus index journal. 4.5 years ago, Sai Mango has ranked it, and they have given 72 percentile. So the Q2 journal as per Sai Mango, as per Scopus Q1 journal, top 4%. Among the top 4% Scopus index journal, and within Springer itself, it is the top 1% journal. That is an achievement. This is all academic discussion, and from 20 papers trying to manage with the help of my professors, now I receive close to 12,000 papers a year, out of which I publish close to 600 papers every year. And इस 12,000 से 600 पेपर तक लाने के लिए मेरा 60% काम मेरा AI बेस्ड एक्सपर्ट सिस्टम करता है, 40% काम मैं और मेरे रिव्यूअर्स की टीम करती है. यहाँ पहुंचा है कॉमर्शियल एंगल ये है कि स्प्रिंगर वर्ल्ड ओवर इसकी सेल 6 पेजेस एब्सोल्युटली फ्री है जर्नल के आज भी, जबकि स्प्रिंगर का बहुत प्रेशर है कि अब 100% पेड करना है, लेकिन 6 पेजेस आर एब्सोल्युटली फ्री, 1 रुपए की एफटीसी नहीं लगेगी. अगले 6 पेज तक 2000 पर पेज मींस 12,000 रुपए में 12 पेपर तक पेपर का रिसर्च पेपर 12 पेजेस का रिसर्च पेपर कर सकता है. 12 पेज से बड़े पेपर हम मोस्टली रिजेक्ट करते हैं. ऑथर्स का पेपर अगर 20 पेज से बड़ा हो तो मेरा एआई सिस्टम स्टेटमेंट आउट करके रिजेक्ट करता है. इसके बावजूद के फ्री पब्लिकेशन है, और मेरे टोटल एनुअल सेल तकरीबन 8.5 करोड़ की है. जिसकी रॉयल्टी 10% तकरीबन 85 लाख रुपीज रॉयल्टी आती है. वहां से जहां से शुरुआत की थी वहां से यहाँ पहुंच रहा. और you name an institution in the country with be it IIT, be it NIT, be it central universities, and I have a paper in that particular year. I have 4 or 5 papers from that institution. That's the kind of opportunity of that. And AI is also being used in that particular selection or rejection process of the paper. So thank you so much. With this note कि हम जो कुछ भी कर रहे हैं, हमें जो भी वक्त मिला है डियर फ्रेंड्स, कल जब हम नहीं होंगे हम सब अपने लिए लिमिटेड वक्त लेकर आएंगे. ये सब इस पे हमारा ईमान है, इस पे हमारा यकीन है, इस पे हमारा. जब हम नहीं होंगे लोग इस बात से हमें याद नहीं करेंगे कि किस ब्रांड का चश्मा पहनते थे, किस ब्रांड की घड़ी पहनते थे, किस ब्रांड का कपड़ा पहनते थे. आज हम सब तनवीर साहब का नाम सामने आते सर झुका लेते हैं, इस वजह से जिन्होंने जो मिल्लत के लिए काम किया है, जो कौम के लिए काम किया है, जो उस वक्त की जो मिल्लत के दुख से उनकी आंखें एक तरह से और उनका गम इतना गहरा हो गया कि वो अपने आप को संभाल नहीं पाए. वहां जब ये काम हमारे सामने देखते हैं और ये अलीगढ़ वाले नहीं समझेंगे तो और कौन समझेंगे कि कल हमसे लोग इन सब चीजों की वजह से हमें नहीं याद करेंगे. हमें याद करेंगे तो सिर्फ उन कामों से जो हमने अपने पीछे छोड़ा होगा. क्या उन कामों के बदले हमने कोई इंस्पिरेशन, कोई फुट स्टेप छोड़ा है, और अगर वो छोड़ा है तो वो काम ही हमें जिंदा रखेगा. ऐसा कुछ कर गुजरने की कोशिश कीजिए. यही कोशिश है. इस कोशिश में आप सब लोग जुड़िए. तो 4 मिसरे हैं इसके लिए कि कल न हम होंगे न कोई गिला होगा, कल न हम होंगे न कोई गिला होगा, बस सिलती हुई खट्टी मीठी यादों का एक सिलसिला होगा. कल न हम होंगे न कोई गिला होगा, बस सिलती हुई खट्टी मीठी यादों का एक सिलसिला होगा. जो भी वक्त मिला है आओ अच्छा कुछ कर गुजरें, जाने कल तकदीर का क्या फैसला होगा. थैंक यू सो मच. अच्छा डिस्कशन चल रहा है, मैंने पिछले 2 डिस्कशन सुना है, आपके रिसर्च पेपर आई एम श्योर बहुत अच्छा होगा। एक अपॉर्चुनिटी है कॉन्फ्रेंसेस के लिए, जो रिसर्च स्कॉलर्स हैं, जो मास्टर्स के स्टूडेंट्स हैं, वो भी जुड़े हैं इस रिसर्च से, क्योंकि आपके और बाकी स्टूडेंट्स के बीच में जो इंट्रिंसिक वैल्यू का एक डिफरेंस बनेगा, वो आपका ये रिसर्च एप्टीट्यूड बनेगा। तो ये डिफरेंस महसूस करें, इस डिफरेंस को महसूस करके जो स्पीकर्स हैं उनसे इंटरेक्ट करें, मैक्सिमम ड्राइव करें और अपनी इंट्रिंसिक वैल्यू को बढ़ाएं। मैं रजा मुराद की 4 पंक्तियों पे कंक्लूड हमेशा करता हूँ कि जब ये कॉन्फ्रेंस खत्म हो जाएगी, जैसे मैंने बताया, जब हम नहीं होंगे तो लोग आप हमें कैसे याद करेंगे। जब ये कॉन्फ्रेंस खत्म हो जाए आज शाम में और आप घर जाएं, तो इस कॉन्फ्रेंस को याद इस वजह से नहीं किया जाएगा, या इसका सक्सेस और फेलियर इस वजह से नहीं माना जाएगा कि इसमें कितने अच्छे स्पीकर्स आए थे, क्या ऑर्गेनाइजेशन थे, किस किस कंट्रीज के लोग जुड़े थे, कितने पेपर्स थे। These are not the parameters to judge success or failure of any of the conference. The success or failure of any of the conference shall be judged only on one parameter, that was there any takeaway. अगर कोई टेकअवे था, इस कॉन्फ्रेंस ने हमारे और आपके काम करने के तरीके में कोई छोटा सा भी बदलाव लाया है, इस कॉन्फ्रेंस ने अगर हमें और आपको किसी एक पॉइंट पे भी जस्ट टू अप्लाई टेक्नोलॉजी फॉर एडवांसिंग ह्यूमैनिटी के लिए इंस्पायर किया है, वही टेकअवे है। तो वो टेकअवे, वो उजाला है, वो पावर ऑफ नॉलेज है जो हमेशा अंधेरे में हमें रास्ता दिखाएगा। तो हमेशा पावर ऑफ नॉलेज जो है, जो उजाला है, वो हमेशा अंधेरे में रास्ता दिखाता है। अब शायर की तशबीह से सुनिए रजा मुराद की पंक्तियां, थोड़ा सा चेंज किया मैंने कि उजाले अपनी आंखों में महफूज कर लो। उजाले मींस की पावर ऑफ नॉलेज एज इंटीग्रल पार्ट ऑफ योर पर्सनालिटी। उजाले अपनी आंखों में महफूज कर लो, बड़ी दूर तक रात ही रात होगी, मुसाफिर हो तुम भी, मुसाफिर रहेंगे, किसी मोड़ पे फिर मुलाकात होगी। थैंक यू सो मच।
Thank you, sir, for your. Thank you, sir, for your motivational lecture. And yes, it was grateful as well. Now we come to our last lecture that will be concluded by our presiding chair, Professor Qazi Mazhar Ali. Professor Qazi Mazhar Ali is a distinguished academic and researcher in the field of statistics and operation research. He served as the Dean of the Faculty of Science and the Chairperson of the Department of Statistics and Operation Research at Aligarh Muslim University. He earned his PhD in Statistics from the University of Oxford, Master of Science and Bachelor of Science from Aligarh Muslim University. Professor Ali has also held several important academic and administrative positions, including Chairperson of the Interdisciplinary Department of Remote Sensing and GIS Applications, Director of the Computer Center, and member in charge of the Telephone Department at Aligarh Muslim University, among others. Now I request Professor Qazi Mazhar Ali to kindly share concluding remarks.
On the dice, of the dice, and the participants. Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon. I know that I am in between the lunch and this concluding remark, so I should not be long. And I hope that because the environment has been created by Professor of Ashar, so excellent. कि वो इससे पहले कि आप ये सोचने लगे चले भी जाओ फिर कुछ कारोबार करें so actually what I felt these sections is AI is coming and cannot stop that. Salma Khan Academy of America. I read a paper from the Khan AI. ChatGPT, when they developed it, first they gave it to Khan Academy before releasing it from them. And they wanted to know the impact. What would be the reaction of the students, how it is, all those, their feedback they wanted. So they took 2 or 3 months. They wrote a book, and you can read that book. I had that book. So basically, what I guess there's one sentence from this that you should use artificial intelligence with intent. That's one thing. Second thing is that you should continue AI, as it has been said, that as an assistant. But at the same time, we should be, as the teachers, we should encourage our students to use AI as a tutor. So if we are using this model, then we'll be making use of it rather than it is controlling us. Now, the 2 sessions, the fear which I see, the underlying fear among the researchers is that AI is going to overtake human intelligence. That's the clear message of these 2 researchers and honorable speakers. The biasness of the data has been mentioned by Melissa and the previous how we can maintain the honesty in the system. These are really very challenging, and I think every conference has its own recommendations. We can give recommendations that there should be some universal, international level recommendations that these standards should be maintained. Because AI is a tool which anybody can develop. Anyone sitting in the world. So we cannot stop. But there should be some standard established as you have ISO and those kinds of things which are internationally recognized. Similarly, we should have some internationally recognized ethical questions that would be maintained. Otherwise, the society in general, the global society, will reject. So that kind of recommendation we can do here in this conference, and I hope that these both the talks were very interesting. And one thing, the third talk was more interesting to me because of Suvir. I should remember that Ulrich, who was the pioneer of the computer, this machine, the computer, was developed to analyze the large data. N was large. Now the challenge is that N is not a problem now because we have so much big computing power. Now the problem is that P has become large. The number of variables which are N and the real-time data. The data is bombarding like anything. So the young generation who are sitting over there, they can understand that the tools are there. The same tools are being used. As just been shown by Melissa, that social sciences major has been used here. So tools, the same tools are available. We have to make certain modifications or certain improvements to adjust to these challenges of the shape of the data, quality of the data, and nature of the data. So these are the challenges for the young generation to work, and I wish that this conference will be successful. Thank you very much, and thank you for giving me this opportunity. And I welcome our guests, and I will especially thank you, Dasa, for sharing so many nice things. Thank you.
Thanks for this session. May I request Dr. Mohammed Uthman to kindly propose the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Priyanshi. Honorable dignitaries, our esteemed presiding chair, distinguished guest speakers, and intellectual cornerstones of this assembly, students and faculties. And vibrant. Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon. We are profoundly honored by your presence. It is our hope that this afternoon has proved as intellectually stimulating as the distinguished company we have kept. As we come to an end on this insightful plenary session of ICECI 2026, I stand before you with a sense of immense pride and purpose and propose the formal vote of thanks. An event of this magnitude is never the result of a single effort, but the culmination of a visionary leadership and collective dedication. First and foremost, we owe a debt of sincere gratitude by our Honorable General Chair, Professor Rasool Faridi sir, and our conference chair, Professor Hassan Al-Sir. Their far-reaching vision and unwavering guidance have not only provided us with the exceptional platform for academic growth, but have also solidified the international reputation of this conference, The foundation further strengthened by the technical sponsorship of the ICECI Uttar Pradesh section. We are equally indebted to our ICECI observer, Professor Asim Chandel sir. We extend our heartfelt appreciation for his presence today and for ensuring the high standards of excellence that the ICECI community represents. I wish to express my deepest appreciation to our unexpected presiding chair, Professor Kazim Ali sir, former Dean, Faculty of Science, and former Chairperson, Department of Statistics and Operation Research. Sir, we are truly grateful for the grace with which you steered this session, sir, and for the invaluable wisdom and guidance you shared with us, especially of using AI with intelligence. I would also like to extend heartfelt thanks to our distinguished speakers. First, Dr. Iqbal Sarkar, sir, for his truly engaging and thought-provoking talk on cybersecurity, AI automation, intelligence, and human trust. Your insights into AI-driven cybersecurity and human trust have truly enriched our understanding. His quote that he have used in his presentation, "In God we trust, all other things data." This line is not only thought-provoking but very powerful and very relevant in our today's rapidly evolving technological age. Your insight into the transition from traditional symbolic approaches to modern data-driven paradigm have given us a fresh perspective on how intelligent both AI or human has evolved. Then I would like to extend my sincere thanks to Professor Abule sir for his enlightening lecture on intelligence in the age of complexity, AI data, and the future of sustainable systems. Your perspectives on AI and sustainable systems have been extremely valuable, sir. Your, a topic that is increasingly shaping our world. You highlighted how the explosion of data must be transformed into intelligent decisions with impactful examples like smart agriculture and sustainability. The discussion on interdisciplinary thinking, modern data realities, and techniques like basket analysis and Google PageRank enriched our understanding. Thank you, sir, for inspiring us to approach complex problems thoughtfully and responsibly. Then I want to extend my sincere gratitude to Professor Mohammed sir. He talked about various things, topics especially related to Industry 5.0, intelligent computing, intelligent automation, and transition from Industry 3.0 automation to Industry 5.0 automation, transformation of our world into digital world, the modern even changing from a robust Nokia. He has given example about a robust Nokia phone to now iPhones, though they are sold as very robust and powerful, but you have seen that they are much less reliable than our previous generation phones. Technology and we use AI technology assistant. IEEE has given many protocols as you have clearly shown, sir. And IEEE USP is advancing technology for humanity. IEEE is beyond Wi-Fi technology and others, but it is much more than that. And also to our English our students to follow the path of technology and to connect with others, especially with industry and conference, and be aware of the current industrial norms and practices. We are truly grateful to all our speakers for taking out their time in their busy schedules and to share their knowledge, research, and experience with us. I would also like to thank the organizing team, technical staff, and volunteers for their tireless effort in ensuring the smooth conduct of this session. A special thanks to all participants and attendees for your active involvement, keen interest, and enthusiastic participation, which made this session lively and meaningful. With this, I conclude the session. I extend my sincere thanks to everyone present here. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, with this, we conclude today's plenary session. I extend our heartfelt gratitude to all our respective speakers, participants who joined us both virtually and physically for your valuable presence and active participation throughout the session. I now request all the guests and participants to kindly proceed for the lunch break. Following the lunch break, we will reassemble for the valedictory session at 4 p.m. positively at this same location, which will mark the formal conclusion of ICECI 2026. Thank you and wishing you all a pleasant lunch break.